We do have a couple roamers on both sides here. An offlane Faces Void is going to be going up against a Medusa Lion combination, which I feel like should be all right. It feels like it shouldn't be too much of a problem, to be honest. But yeah, don't worry, guys. I'll mess with the audio a little bit. I see your feedback.
Everyone's just doing their thing. Typical SEA Dota. We even get the SEA Dota fans. Good stuff. Yeah, I'm pretty sure as long as OD's not in the other lane and you're an offlaner, life's okay. That's pretty much my main metric. I will play offlane against anything this patch except OD. I feel like I just go to the jungle if it's OD right away.
Yeah. I do like the fact that Mineski actually picked up Nyx Assassin. I feel like that hero has been a little bit underutilized considering the heavy intelligence cores that this patch is kind of all about, between the OD, Zeus, Invoker. A lot of big-time intelligence heroes that Nyx Assassin is quite good against for the most part.
Yeah, sometimes it kind of seems like he's one of those heroes that, like, you'll see people shouting for, like, during a draft. You know what I mean? Like, Nyx is one of these ones that Twitch chat would draft every game. It's a classic. You see, like, 3 int heroes, and the Nyx Assassins just start, like, filling into your second monitor. But I think he does definitely get a little bit of an underrated cause. The main problem I often will have is if, like, they're always stuck in this awkward ground of, like, do I get a Midas? How long is this game going to go? Do I need a Midas if I want to get into an Aghanim Scepter, Aether Lens, potential Octarine? Or do I get my Blink Dagger? Like, I feel like the itemization for this hero has definitely not been optimized. There's still something missing there.
Not sure if Iron Talon is the build, but if you're not going to be actually completely shoved out of lane, I don't think Iron Talon is the right build for Nyx Assassin. Pretty sure it's early.
It does seem odd, right?
Yeah.
Just because what is it, 3.1 base HP regen, I think it is, without Tango's going, so he's definitely a hero that you don't really want to have to leave the lane, and it is a Witch Doctor, so maybe he's just thinking, like, once the levels come up and we start rocking into that Maledict, then I'm not going to be able to do anything.
Oh, the race for the rune!
Nice.
Bocarino gets it. Double damage for our Earth Spirit as he returns. Well, it looks like he's kind of hemming and hawing. Not sure where he should go. Should he go top? Try and deal with the Faceless Void. He's only level 1, so he doesn't have an additional stun. If they had, like, even level 3 on the Earth Spirit, Faceless Void becomes a very easy kill with the combinations of disables that they have between these two supports. But he'll just force him out of lane, while Vengeful Spirit with the smoke wrap around here. Boots verse 2. This is going to be coming pretty fast, and Ben-Hur might not be able to react fast enough to be able to stop this.
Yeah, of course, this is one of these things about position for Avenge. Can be a little bit difficult to try and set these things up with a shortest cast range here. I'm not too sure. It might end up just being an Earth Spirit that might have to turn on. All in all, I mean, OD's having a time. 19 and 11, kind of what you expect. I've seen many an Invoker get dumpstered lately by OD. Not that it's the most shocking thing ever, but it hurts. Invoker can catch up, but you'd love to be nice and early, you know, up in your levels and get some gold, heading towards your Midas. Now he's going to have to really rely on Sunstrikes. Wow, they actually had a potential kill down bottom. They had the bounce back on the range creep, but Gabby, more focused on farming, didn't want to try and risk it. And, of course, there's the Carapace, so if it's not perfectly timed, then you know he's going to be able to break that up.
Yeah. Medusa already with the phase boots. This is the great thing, is Medusa is actually pretty damn good at putting pressure on offlaners. And Medusa is actually better than most against Faceless Void. While she doesn't bring 80 disables to the table, she does have, once she gets the phase boots, this kind of constant damage output that she's able to harass. Mystic Snake, obviously, big time nuke that is easily dodged out by a Time Walk, but maybe they can couple that with Hex Impale, and they can actually keep that damage more permanent. Seeing as they do have rather long duration disables, they can actually get the damage down and keep Void disabled for 2 seconds, preventing him from time walking the damage off.
Yeah, and that's one of the best reasons that we even get to see the line these days up against the Faceless Void. Super handy stuff there. You're right, it is kind of surprising they haven't been able to get any of that stuff, but it actually, I think it mostly just comes down to Skember here. He's been doing a good job of pacing himself around the line, making sure that's not going to be going down. Bocarino also still living down bottom is pretty huge. 9 CS, not too shabby. Him and the old Faceless Void pretty tied up here, so I'll be interested to see which one of these offlaners can actually set something up. We're going to have, like, pardon me, some Sunstrikes paired up here with the Nyx Assassin, and then, of course, we're just waiting on Chrono. OD.
Jesse misses the roll in, is going to get a double kick out, though, and OD is missing a lot of armor, so can't really continue to fight that one. Definitely could have been a kill, though, if he'd been able to time a better kick and rolling boulder onto that OD.
There's a range creep just coming into their lane.
Yeah, just passing by, going for the old stack.
I was so confused for a moment there. That's a nice and early helm. No boots at all for Gabby. This guy's serious.
Oh, Sunstrike! Oh. Even if it wouldn't have killed him, at least killing the healing salve would have been really big for Mineski. And now the last bit of mana has been taken away from the Faceless Void. He can no longer operate in this lane. Has to go back because that Mystic Snake, the next one, might even kill him. He's got to get a wand, though. I think that's pretty important against Lion, who uses all 3 spells in lane. And then Dusa, who will constantly be spamming out Mystic Snakes. I think it's really important for you to have a wand. That way, if you do get yourself into a situation where that mana is taken away, Bocarino, oh, not quite out of range of the counter, and will end up going down underneath the tier 1. Nice gank there from ACA. But going back to it, I think it's important to have that, because if you're hit by the Mystic Snake and it takes away your mana, you need to be able to fall back on a magic wand and then time walk immediately. Otherwise, you're very quickly going to get zoned out of lane. It's Faceless Void. Got to be able to time walk that one off. Not too much damage taken.
Yeah, it's really difficult for them to still try and get this kill. Has to be essentially precise. Like, I think they could have gotten that theoretically, but everyone would have been very much on the same page. As we can see, it was blocked off here for the Radiant Ancient Camp. Nice little roam over from our Earth Spirit, so won't be one more stack. They did already manage to get 3 up, so relatively happy. I like this Sentry Ward down in between the trees, too. It's one of the harder ones to detect, so they might come over, just find the Observer, and then end up getting some other counter wards de-warded from their side. If Jesse Vash makes his way over there once more, but already 3 stacks. I mean, Gabby's going to be pretty happy about that. He can start doing the whole God Strength through the jungle soon. They're already starting to push the lane. Give a little space to the Witch Doctor. Things look pretty solid for the Radiant side between Sven and OD's farm.
What a cleave hit that was. 3 CS, 1 swing.
Glorious. I'll get some high ping. Wow, only 1 kill. I mean, these lanes are pretty stable and static. What about our Medusa? I wonder what her item build is going to be this game. This is one of those games where it's like not, I don't think, a Lincoln Sphere game. This definitely looks like more so just Scotty, right? Chrono. I mean, no, I'm not seeing the Lincolns. Well, maybe it's okay for the Venge and the swap. Stormhammer.
No, I think your initial. I don't think Lincoln's is good. In fact, I don't like Lincoln's most of the time on Dusa. They have the counter ward laid down. Bocarino's not going to be able to get out the stun as Fly Solo turns to the magic missile and ends up picking up a haste rune.
That would have been dangerous. Did they have? Yeah, they even had Sunstrike ready. So. We still have that first chrono yet to be popped. They could probably kill Jules.
Well, the tier 1 is going to go down. Jules is going to extend himself too far, and they will get the chrono off. That being said, it's not a very good chrono, especially with the ultimate coming out from Medusa. Kind of sets everyone up to get turned into stone. Jules turns around, manages to get the Hex off. 1 more hit is all they need, but they're not going to be able to get it, it looks like. Jules staying 1 step ahead. Fly Solo cuts through the trees, is able to get the magic missile to finish him off. If only he had run right or straight through that tree gap, maybe the Lion would have lived. But still, it was a full chrono plus a Sven rotating for a support kill. Not highly beneficial for ACA.
No, that wasn't the chrono. Did not quite work out there. He was low on mana though, I think, so I'm not sure if he was just trying to make sure he got it off before like the snake was coming in. It's a little bit hard to tell. And they also didn't deny the tower, which is hilarious. And Raging Potato's just gonna get it. Look at the pings from the void.
Radiant's top tower.
Hey. Well, that gets some drums.
Oh, that just made that gag just awful at this point now. Bottom lane, he's going to come in and try and punish Jesse Vash, but it looks like he'll get away without Bash Lord. Oh man, he just can't get it. Oh no.
He's got time walk up in a second too.
He's going.
He's going the distance. No bashes. Still able to get the kill. They do have an impale. Not going to blow it though because he didn't have to blow time walk. Faceless Void still had that escape. And is able to get away.
Man, sometimes you just can't hit that 10%, you know?
Yeah.
Bocarino gets an invis run. Still no bottle for himself. This is pretty odd considering he has a Invoker on his team. Like, Ben-Hur obviously not needing runes. Nyx obviously mana issues. Wouldn't mind seeing a bottle. Get really active. Try and roam around some more with his Earth Spirit or something. Even Jesse Vash doesn't have a bottle. They're bottleless, man.
Huh. It's kind of weird. He's going to get his Arcane Boots, though, on the Nyx Assassin, finally. Full wrap around here, once again, from the two supports of ACA. There is already a counter TP, though. Lion is going to end up running into that smoke with a smoke of his own. Gets off the impale first, hit by the paralyzing cask, but is able to get back in time. So neither team really getting from that mid engagement what they wanted, but both will be able to safely walk home.
Yeah, and somehow we wound up with this like 1v1 of hard carries up top, just totally uncontested. Like, all our supports, we got Lions and Earth Spirits, we got Witch Doctors and Venges, and they're just like hanging out with the offlaners. I'm not sure how we got to this point, but it's pretty good for Gabby. You know, he's up here by his stacks. They did eventually de-ward that, so they can get another one off here with the range creep.
And this stun turns into what could be two dead heroes here. Bocarino's going to be able to get away with the Vendetta, but Jules is not as lucky. That was awkward.
Yeah.
He literally ran forward, Earth spiked. Void just took a step backwards, dodged it, and then time walked in for the Chronosphere.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Alright, well, the counter rotation sent towards the mid lane. Got our drums already up there. Obviously, the Midas rocking it already for Ben-Hur, so he's just, you know, right-clicking like a champ. Look at these things fly out. Him and the Forward Spirits, auras galore.
Well, that Carapace did a lot, but unfortunately, Lion's getting stunned in the background, so he's not able to disrupt as much as he wanted. Oh no, the Finger of Death laid out to the Void, but he was mid-time walk too. Ends up taking none of that damage. 5-1 ACA, being able to take this tier 1 tower. Meanwhile, Mineski doing split pushing things in a way. They're just pushing down mid, going for the tier 2.
Yeah, I gotta say, pretty solid stuff here from ACA. Like, the fact that you're drafting and you wind up getting Venge OD in the first phase and still face this Void in the second phase, this is the kind of stuff that goes on. Like, they really set themselves up well for this game. We've seen some teams commit into the OD, face this Void in the first phase, and we were actually, like, a little bit worried about it because it made it so much easier to ban out during the second phase, but instead, you end up getting Faces Void 3 and then Witch Doctor 4. I mean, what's better than that? And then they close out with a 5th pick Sven. I feel like their draft is just like so easily set up into these heroes that not only are they like matching colors in like all bluish background and whatnot, but they're also all pretty meta. Versus Mineski, who they got this little bit of a burden here. They got to perform. You know, they're running a Nyx Assassin off lane. They're trying to impress the fans. They got a Medusa.
Yeah,
So.
if you're not if you're a competitive team, you get this lineup and you don't know how to execute it, something is terribly, terribly wrong. This is like literally the most meta lineup I've ever seen.
Radiant's bottom tower
Yeah.
is under attack.
There's just so many parts of it. It's just like, yeah, we get the Venge swap, so now they can't get it, and we can reposition people for the Chrono. We have an OD. Everyone's got a stun for the OD. He just does his thing, and we win the game. But they're coming back here, Mineski. Now they've got down that bottom tower. It's going to open up the Radiant side jungle. Medusa's farming like a champ. 2k gold. She's not quite on top of the net worth chart, but it's okay. It's only the Sven. He's not that far ahead considering the stacks.
They're actually going to try and fight over this one. The God's Strength getting close to wearing out here. They managed to get the stun onto Sven, preventing him from getting the last hit on the tower. They follow up with a little bit more damage. Oh no! Jesse rolls right on through everybody there. Does manage to get off a decent ultimate onto 4, but it'll never do enough damage to actually win this fight. It looks like. Turn around, Chronosphere onto 3. Now with the Witch Doctor ward going out, Ben-Hur's going to be the target. They drop the OD ultimate, not enough to kill the Invoker, unfortunately, but they will be able to bring the rest low. Low enough that Mineski just have to retreat. Look at that, ACA all well below half HP. And all of them managed to stay alive through that team fight.
That's how you know you had a good fight, you know? That's the good stuff right there. When everyone's getting out low on HP, everyone's tanking some abilities. That Venge was so close to death, and then manages to reposition herself so that she's not going to get stone formed. Using the swap, puts them into a position where they get 3-man chronoed. Didn't end up looking too pretty with the ulti. They only got, I think, 1 kill during that whole scenario, but pretty mega plays coming out here from ACA. I'm impressed.
Nyx Assassin completing the Ether Lens. You know, I experimented a bit with the Nyx Assassin when this patch was a few months younger. I am not convinced that Ether Lens is the build on Nyx Assassin. You know, everybody likes the idea, but I somehow think that this item just, it takes away your arcane boots, this constant replenishing mana, and it gives you, I don't think, enough for its cost. I kind of feel like Blink Dagger is still the item on Nyx, just arcane straight into Blink. Because if you think about it, the item wouldn't actually be that much more than the Ether Lens. You'd still be keeping your arcane boots.
In the end, I feel like you can see every single fight, he hasn't actually gotten a single initiation off because they've just always had the sentries. He had, like, his best stun so far was to stop Sven from last hitting a tower.
Yeah.
So that's kind